Hi, my name is Mia. Welcome to Scrubs and Savings. I'm a 22-year-old new grad nurse documenting how I'm living intentionally, spending joyfully, and giving generously. And today we are going to be doing my payday routine where we are breaking down my paycheck, budgeting it out, and also do a quick budget check-in. So as for my gross pay, I worked a total of 71.2 hours, which I earned $2,702.05 for. Then for working part of the afternoon shift, that was 22.7 of my hours, and I earned an extra $86.15 for that. Then for working weekends, that was 21.3 hours, and I earned an extra $42.60. And then I think they finally figured out my benefits because I noticed in my gross pay, I received my long-term disability credit of $14.32 and my accident and dismemberment credit, which was 66 cents. So with all of that, my total gross pay was $2,845.78. I also have several pre-tax deductions, which include my benefits such as life insurance, which was 73 cents, accident and dismemberment, which was 46 cents, and long-term disability, which was $14.32. And then my biggest pre-tax deduction is my contribution to my traditional 403b through my employer, which was $1,132.32. So the total of my pre-tax deductions was $1,147.83, which took my taxable income down to $1,697.95. And lastly, for my taxes, they withheld $212.39 for federal income, $41.04 for Medicare, $175.51 for Social Security, $72.18 for my state income tax, and $20.38 for my city tax. So in total, my total tax withholdings were $521.50. So my total net pay was $1,176.45. And now we get to the fun part of actually budgeting that money out. So for those of you that are new here, I use the budgeting software You Need a Budget for all of my budgeting needs. I highly recommend it, and if you want to try it out, I do have a referral link down below, and if you do end up signing up for ynab, you get a month of your subscription for free, and I also get a month of my subscription for free. So I think August is already fully funded for all of my expenses and savings goals. So we're going to move on to funding September's budget. So the first thing that comes out every month is my monthly donation. I already have $90.92 set aside for that. So we're going to add $221.50. Then I think Epidemic Sound and Canva come out after that, and my car insurance and my gym membership come out at the end of the month. Then for my true expenses, I like to set aside $100 every month for car maintenance, $9.71 for my driver's license and car registration, $7.27 for ynab, $4.17 for gym maintenance, $18.79 for my work shoes and my work license, $27.09 for my Amex Gold membership, and then $50 for Christmas. Then I'm going to set aside $65 for gifts. I only have one birthday in September, and I'm probably just going to send her some flowers. But Nick and I's anniversary is early October, and I don't think we have anything particularly planned for our anniversary, but even if it's something bigger than what we normally go for, I think $200 should be enough for my friend's gift and our anniversary gifts, so I'm not going to set aside any extra money for gifts unless I really need to. Then I'll just set aside my normal $50 for eating out. I don't have any plans for September yet. I'm just getting to do all of my August friendship things. So I think $50 should be fine for right now, but of course, if I think I'm going to eat out more than normal, I'm just going to move money from my other categories. Same thing for hosting, don't have anything particularly planned, but who knows? Then I'm going to set aside $15 for activities. Then I'm going to set aside $80 for yoga. And I'm sad to say that I have not gone to yoga at all in August, and it is already the 15th. But it's the same issue with my gym. It's like 20 minutes away, and if there's something you need to know about me is that I very much dislike driving, and the more distance away something is, the less likely I'm going to do it, no matter how good it is for me to do. So I definitely need to haul my butt over there because I can already feel my body like getting stiff and more tense as more time goes on since I've been to a yoga class. Anyways, for beauty, I'm going to set aside $30. I don't have a haircut coming up, but I definitely noticed that I need to stock up on a lot of my beauty items. I'm running out of sunscreen and my nightly serum, so I definitely need to purchase a couple of those before my skin gets too dry. Then I'm going to set aside $5 for entertainment, $100 for live events, $25 for clothing, $50 for date night, and $20 for knickknacks. Then for my change jar for my YouTube channel, I'm going to set aside $17.01. Now I only want to set aside about $50 every month for my YouTube channel. So with my Epidemic Sound subscription, and I recently signed up for a monthly Canva subscription, that is like $32.99. So 1701 rounds the amount of money that I'm setting aside for YouTube up to $50. Then with this last $62.93, I'm going to set it aside to my number one goal of having $12,000 saved by April 2026. And before I end this video, I want to do a quick budget check-in and show you guys something that I added to my budget. So I'm going to look at my spending. So far this month, I've spent $415.68, the majority of that being my normal giving, but I also bought one of my friends a birthday gift, and then I spent $35.30 on eating out, and $32.99 on my Epidemic Sound and Canva subscription. And I honestly feel like this isn't very spendy for me. I think it's partly because I've just been so busy with all of my orientation stuff. I'm doing my full-time hours and also like taking classes every week, so my schedule's just been filled up to the brim, and all I really want to do is just relax at home when I'm not working. And Nick has also been traveling for work, so he was gone for like 2.5 to 3 weeks, which definitely decreases my spending because normally when we go out on dates, I tend to spend a little more money. So even though I've been a little less spendy than normal, I'm definitely going to make up for it in the back half of August because Nick and I are going out on a date tonight. We're going out with my friends to Chili's, and we're also doing a game night at my house, so I'm going to purchase some snacks for us. And then the week after, we're celebrating my friend's birthday, and then the week after that, that weekend, I'm going to New Jersey to visit my family, and then we're going to do a day trip in New York. And when we're in the city for the day, I think all I really want is a really good bagel sandwich and a very expensive latte. I think if I can get those two things, it will have been worth the 2-hour bus ride to New York. And with all of that in mind, I think I might have to change up my fun budget a little bit. So I still need to take my parents out to dinner. I think that will still be about $80, so I'm not going to move money from there. $10 should be enough for snacks. We already have a lot of snacks in my house from when I hosted movie night with my friends. $40 should be good for yoga. I don't plan on buying any products this month, but even if I wanted to, $30 should be enough for whatever I said I needed earlier. Nick and I are probably going to purchase tickets to go to a concert soon, but $200 should be enough for that, and enough for a couple of baseball tickets. But Taylor Swift announced her new album is coming out in October, and I fear I may want to spend a lot of money whenever she goes on tour again. I did go to the Eras tour, and it was one of the best nights of my life, and I definitely want to see her live again. So we may eventually have to increase my live event category just because of her, the power she has. But I think $200 is enough for what I'm going to need in the near future. But if I decide Taylor Swift new concert is the priority, we're going to definitely move money around, because with the Eras tour, I definitely did that. I don't need to take any money from my clothing category, and I really should be building this up because I probably need to buy new clothes soon just because I'm growing out of my current clothes. Nick is paying for our date tonight, but when we go out with my friends tomorrow, I want to pay for us as a couple, so I don't think I'm going to move any money from there. And then for knickknacks, I'm just going to leave it as is, and I guess I'm really not moving any money. Just, I feel like once I start spending all the money that I plan on spending, I'm just going to switch it around as needed. But I think I have like, how much money do I have in all of my fun money categories? $684.96. That should be enough for whatever I want to do for the rest of this month. And then I also have $100 set aside specifically for our day trip to New York. Will a bagel sandwich and a latte cost $100? No. But if I do want to get anything else, I want to have the money set aside for it. And the most recent change that I've made to my budget is my travel category group. I added targets to a couple of the trips that I want to go on. So in spring, I would like to go on a nice domestic trip. Nick and I still need to talk about what we want to do, but I think at the upper end, we might spend a total of $2,000, because even though I've traveled so much recently, I'm already craving a nice trip to somewhere in the States. And I know I've been talking about this for a while, but I really do want to go to France, and I think we could do a budget of $4,000 in total if we take advantage of credit card rewards for our hotel stays and our flights. So I've been used to setting aside $200 each month for travel, but with how much I want to travel, that's not very realistic. So to stay on track with how much I want for our spring trip and for France, I need to set aside $257 every month for that. So that's a $57 increase to my travel category. But since travel is such a big priority for me, I want my budget to reflect that. I think that's it for today's payday routine video. And so thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And I would love to hear what you guys are doing with your next paycheck. Again, thank you for watching. Bye guys.